Remember back to November 26, 2011, the NCAA playoffs and the first ever meeting between Old Dominion and Norfolk State. ODU wins 35-18 in what to that point had been the most talked about college football game in Hampton Roads. And Saturday night, we're going to do it again. I'm Bruce Rader. Welcome to the Sports Wrap Live on this Wednesday night. For the third time in 4 years, and maybe for the last time for a while, fans from Norfolk State and Old Dominion won't even have to leave the city to see their favorite teams play. Old Dominion will host Norfolk State Saturday night under the lights at SB Ballard Stadium. The balance of power is much different now. ODU has moved up to the highest level of college football, the FBS. Norfolk State, still a member of the MEAC, is more like the Monarchs were, playing in the FCS with fewer players. It will be ODU's 42nd straight sellout rather, and Coach Bobby Wilder says he couldn't ask for a better home opening opponent.
Oh, I love playing Norfolk State. I think it's a great series, with the two college football teams representing Norfolk. We've had a couple good football games against them. We had to kick a field goal 2 years ago with no time left to beat them. So I'm hoping it's something we can continue in the future.
Well, I think it's huge for the fans. It's huge for the alumni. It's huge for the community. But the biggest thing for us over here at Norfolk State is that we need to win our first football game. So that's our main focus. I know a lot of people are excited about it. I think it's great that the game sold out, but we need to focus on the things that we need to focus on to get us a W.
Like Virginia Tech's game against Furman Saturday in Blacksburg, this game is considered such a mismatch that odds makers aren't even setting a line. The Spartans lost to Rutgers last week, 63-13. So what, if anything, is Coach Wilder concerned about?
Well, the fact, number one, that they're talented. Norfolk State's always a talented football team. Their linebacker, Deion King's as good as anybody will play this year. Greg Hankerson, the transfer quarterback from FAU, he's a good football player. He threw the ball well against Rutgers, so they're a talented football team. They're going to be much better on offense. That's Coach Scott's MO. He's an offensive coach who performs well, and I suspect they'll be much better on defense. They went up, they jumped Rutgers early. They were in that game, just got worn down. Later on, they had some players that missed the game that'll be back this week. So just overall as a football team, I think they'll come in here, be a good football team. They won't be intimidated. They'll be ready to play.
Norfolk State's new coach, Latrell Scott, like every other coach that will face Old Dominion this year, is concerned about this guy, number 33, Ray Lowry, who bullied his way through the Eastern Michigan defense last weekend to the tune of 223 yards and 4 touchdowns, leading all Division I rushers. Most of his yards and scores came in the second half. He had the best offensive game of any college player in the nation last week, but that is not what has impressed Coach Scott the most.
Well, first of all, he's a very good football player. Had a chance to meet him as a young man outside of football this spring in a banquet class act, and I think what he's able to do in the run game gives their offense a different dimension. Obviously, when Taylor Heineke was there, they threw it just about every down, but the ability to run and pass makes those guys that much more dangerous on offense.
Because FBS teams don't play at FCS schools, the only way these two neighbors will play again is if Norfolk State agrees to play on the road. But at least one more time on Saturday night, there will be a Battle of Norfolk. And regardless of the score, it will be the fans of Hampton Roads who will end up the winners. And by the way, Old Dominion fans, in case you have plans on Friday night, set your DVRs now for 10:45 for the season premiere of the Old Dominion football show with head coach Bobby Wilder. Coach Wilder and I will look back at last week's come-from-behind win over Eastern Michigan and look ahead to Saturday night's game against Norfolk State every Friday at 10:45, the Old Dominion football show here on Fox 43.